Have you ever stood up from your chair and for a moment felt like your legs weren't yours? They feel heavy, stiff, as if someone swapped them out for blocks of concrete overnight. You try to stretch, you try to walk it off, but nothing really helps. And before long, it just becomes your new normal. You might even say what most people over 60 quietly say to themselves. Well, maybe this is just part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if I told you there's a simple, natural remedy that could help lift that heaviness, without pills, prescriptions, or pricey machines? Something hiding in your own kitchen cabinet. And what it did in just 7 days might surprise you. Let me tell you the story of a woman named Helen. Just a week ago, her legs were swollen, sore, and stiff. Even shifting in bed at night was uncomfortable. She dreaded getting up from her recliner. It took effort, and sometimes courage. But after just 7 days of applying a simple natural oil, something she hadn't touched in years, her legs felt lighter. The pain? Less. She moved with more freedom, slept peacefully, and even strolled down her street with a kind of ease she hadn't felt in years. No new prescriptions, no doctor visit, no magic gadgets or complicated routines. Just a small bottle, a familiar scent, and a little time set aside each day. The oil she used? Rosemary oil. Yes, the same herb many of us have tucked behind the oregano and paprika, once treasured in traditional medicine, now often forgotten in the rush of pills and procedures. And modern research is finally catching up to what ancient healers knew. In a study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, rosemary extract was shown to improve circulation and reduce muscle stiffness, particularly in aging populations. Another clinical trial from phytotherapy research highlighted rosemary oil's role in easing muscular pain and supporting vascular health, making it a powerful ally for tired, aching legs. But this isn't just about research, it's about real life and real results. This video is for anyone who's felt that frustrating heaviness in their legs, who's tired of swelling, soreness, and slow steps, and who's ready to feel strong again, starting with one small, daily ritual. Because the truth is, what you're about to hear could shift the way you feel this week, and maybe even the way you age. Let's step back for a moment, because what happened to Helen didn't start overnight. Like so many people, she didn't wake up one morning with aching legs. It happened little by little. At first, it was just a dull ache behind her knees after watering the garden. Then came the swelling around her ankles, especially after sitting too long. Soon, even walking from the living room to the kitchen felt like dragging sandbags. By the time she turned 73, she noticed her balance was off. Her legs would cramp without warning, and her sleep, constantly broken by discomfort. And like many women her age, she whispered to herself, maybe this is just how it is now. But it wasn't age. Not really. It was her body sending quiet signals, asking for help. Her circulation had slowed. Her blood vessels had stiffened with time, making it harder for oxygen and nutrients to reach her lower legs. Without enough flow, the muscles felt starved, weak, and exhausted. According to the American Heart Association, reduced peripheral circulation is a leading factor behind that heavy leg feeling in older adults, especially in women over 60. At the same time, Helen's kidneys and lymph system weren't clearing fluid like they used to, and gravity, as always, pulled that fluid straight to her feet and ankles. Swelling wasn't just uncomfortable, it was changing the way she moved. And then there was muscle loss, quiet and creeping. With every month of sitting too long or avoiding movement, her muscles began to shrink. This process, known as sarcopenia, affects up to 45% of people over 65, according to research in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle. It's not laziness, it's biology. But the good news? Biology can be supported, and muscles can come back to life. Because what the body really needs isn't a miracle. It needs gentle support, a small signal that says, I'm here for you. And for Helen, that signal came on an ordinary Tuesday afternoon. She was cleaning out her spice rack when she found it, a tiny glass bottle tucked behind the vinegar and thyme. She squinted at the label and smiled. Rosemary oil. She had bought it years ago after reading something in a magazine, then promptly forgot about it. But that night, her legs were aching again. Instead of grabbing her usual heating pad, she tried something different. She poured a few drops of the oil into her hands, rubbed them together, and gently massaged her calves and thighs. The scent hit her first, earthy, fresh, herbal. It brought back memories she couldn't place. Then came the warmth. A soft heat, not burning, but soothing, like her legs were waking up from a long sleep. That night, for the first time in weeks, she didn't cramp. She didn't wake up sore. She simply slept. And that was just day one. Now stay with us, because in the next section, we're going to explore exactly why rosemary oil works, how to use it properly, and what to expect by day 7. Plus, we'll reveal 3 natural blends that take it even further, especially if you're dealing with cramps, swelling, or fatigue. And yes, it's safe. It's natural. And it's something you can start today. Let's keep going. At first glance, rosemary oil might seem too simple. After all, it's just a kitchen herb, right? Something you sprinkle on roasted potatoes? But here's the truth. Rosemary is one of nature's oldest healers, and modern science is now proving what ancient wisdom has known all along. This isn't just a spice. It's a powerful plant medicine, one packed with rosmarinic acid, carnosic acid, and potent antioxidants, compounds that fight inflammation, improve circulation, and soothe tired, aching muscles. In fact, a 2015 study published in the journal Complementary Therapies in Clinical Practice found that rosemary oil, when used as a massage treatment, significantly reduced muscle pain and improved blood flow in older adults within just 2 weeks. It's no wonder ancient Greek and Roman healers massaged it into sore joints, tired calves, and swollen feet after long walks through stone cities. They didn't have science journals back then, just results. And they passed those results down from generation to generation. So what makes rosemary oil so special? It's not just what's in it. It's what it does and how quickly it works. Rosemary oil stimulates something called peripheral circulation. That means it helps push fresh, oxygen-rich blood back into the areas that need it most, your legs, ankles, and feet. Think of it like waking up sleepy blood vessels. It tells them, hey, it's time to move again. At the same time, it reduces swelling. The anti-inflammatory compounds inside rosemary help calm tissues that are inflamed from long hours sitting or standing, something the body becomes more sensitive to after 60. And here's something you might not expect. That scent you notice the moment you open the bottle, that herbal, piney aroma, it does more than just smell nice. Studies in Frontiers in Pharmacology show that rosemary oil's aroma can lower cortisol, your stress hormone, helping both your body and your brain relax during use. For Helen, that made all the difference. Because this wasn't just about circulation. It wasn't just about muscles. This became her time. A moment in the day that belonged to her and no one else. It was more than a massage. It became a ritual, a connection to her body she hadn't felt in years. And now, if you're wondering, how do I use it the right way? Let me show you. Because the how matters just as much as the what. Let's go step by step, just like Helen did. The best time to use rosemary oil? Right after a warm shower or bath. Why? Because that's when your pores are open, your muscles are already relaxed, and your skin can absorb the oil more deeply. But don't worry, if a shower isn't in the cards that day, just make sure your legs are clean and dry. Helen would start by warming the bottle gently in her hands, just holding it for a few seconds. If it felt cold, she'd place it on a warm towel for a bit. Nothing fancy, just enough to take the chill off. Then she'd pour 5 or 6 drops into her palm, rub her hands together, and take a deep breath. That scent alone, earthy, grounding, was like lighting a candle in a quiet room. It was her signal. This is your time now. She always started low, right at her ankles. Slow, circular motions. Gentle, firm, never rushing. She moved up her calves, behind the knees, around the shins, and then slowly into her thighs. And on the thighs, she slowed down even more. Long, sweeping strokes. Almost like she was giving her legs a hug, reassuring them, thanking them. It wasn't just a routine. It was a conversation between her hands and her body. One leg took about 5 to 7 minutes. And during that time, she breathed deeply. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It became a kind of moving meditation. No TV, no phone, just her and the quiet. Now here's the part most people miss. Consistency. Helen didn't just try it once and forget about it. She did it twice a day. Once in the morning to prepare her legs for the day ahead. And again at night, to release the pressure that had built up from standing, sitting, or walking. That rhythm changed everything. And by day 7, she didn't just feel a difference, she saw it. Her ankles looked less puffy. Her steps were smoother. Her legs, once stiff and uncooperative, moved with grace again. And she didn't stop after that first week. She kept going. Some days it was just at night. Other days, only in the morning. She listened to her body. Let it guide her. And it never felt like a chore. It became as normal and as essential as brushing her teeth or making her evening cup of tea. Because that's what healing looks like. Not a miracle, but a quiet rhythm. Day after day, step by step, touch by touch. And just like that, your legs remember how to feel good again. There's something magical that happens when you add just a little more care. That's exactly what Helen began to discover. To make her daily massage even more powerful, she didn't just stop with the oil. She added 2 small changes that made a big difference. After each massage, she'd gently elevate her legs using 2 pillows. Just 15 minutes of simple elevation. That's all it took to help her blood flow back toward her heart. A basic trick, but one backed by doctors and used in physical therapy for decades. And on days when her legs were especially tender, she added a warm towel right after the massage. The heat wasn't just comforting. It helped the rosemary oil absorb deeper into her skin. That soft warmth loosened up the stiffness and made her legs feel like they were truly being looked after. But do you want to know the part that made the biggest difference? Stillness. No noise. No scrolling. No background TV. Just Helen. Her hands. Her breath. And something shifted in that quiet. Not just in her legs, but in her spirit. A week of real change. What surprised Helen most wasn't just how good her legs felt. It was how quickly they began to respond. By the end of just 1 week, she was living a different rhythm. And while every body is unique, what Helen experienced isn't uncommon. In fact, many older adults describe a similar day-by-day transformation once they start. Let's walk through it together. Day 1. It wasn't about pain relief yet. It was about presence. That simple act of taking time for herself, breathing, massaging, and being gentle, it shifted something emotionally. For the first time in weeks, she felt like her body still mattered. Day 2. A small but real change. Her legs didn't feel quite as stiff when she got out of bed. And that night, the usual leg cramps didn't interrupt her sleep. She rested deeply. Day 3. While walking to the kitchen, she noticed. No more dragging feet. Her steps felt smoother, more coordinated. Still some soreness, yes, but the heaviness was slowly lifting. Day 4. Her skin looked different. The flakiness and dryness replaced with a soft, healthy glow. Her legs looked alive again. And when she looked in the mirror, she felt a little more alive too. Days 5 and 6. Something new showed up, confidence. She walked taller, stood without hesitating, and even climbed stairs without grabbing the railing. Her body felt like hers again. Day 7. She paused, looked down at her legs, and smiled. Not because the journey was over, but because for the first time in years, her legs didn't feel like a burden. They felt like part of her again. Beyond rosemary, other oils that work wonders. Now, rosemary oil might have opened the door, but it's not the only natural remedy worth exploring. In fact, depending on what your legs are going through, swelling, cramps, poor sleep, or visible veins, there might be another oil that fits your body even better. Let's look at a few of the best ones. 1. Arnica oil, the swelling soother. If your legs bruise easily, if they swell after standing or feel tender after walking, then arnica oil might be what your body's been quietly asking for. It's made from a vibrant yellow flower and has been used for centuries in Europe to treat inflammation, stiffness, and sore muscles. Today, research backs it up. A study published in Phytomedicine found that arnica extract significantly reduces swelling and speeds up recovery in soft tissue injuries. Helen's friend Susan, 75, swears by it. She runs a small vegetable stall and spends hours on her feet. After just a few days of arnica oil, the nagging ache behind her knees simply melted away. 2. Lavender oil, for restful sleep and muscle relief. Now, if your biggest challenge is sleep, lavender oil might be the answer. Its scent alone can lower heart rate and calm the nervous system. But when massaged into the legs, lavender does even more. It gently relaxes tense muscles and helps overactive nerves settle down. Studies published in evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine confirm its muscle-relaxing and sleep-inducing properties. That's why so many older adults keep a bottle near their bedside, ready for those evenings when the body just won't unwind. 3. Horse chestnut oil, circulation's best friend. If visible veins, poor circulation, or ankle swelling are your biggest concern, horse chestnut oil might be your secret weapon. It's been used extensively in Germany to strengthen blood vessel walls and ease the feeling of heavy legs. One major review in the Cochrane database of systematic reviews found that horse chestnut extract improved circulation and reduced leg discomfort better than placebo. For those who feel like their legs just give up by the end of the day, this oil can be a game changer. And here's the best part. You don't have to choose just one. Some people blend a few drops of each into a carrier oil like almond or olive. Others alternate them depending on how their legs feel that day. The most important thing? Listen. Your body is always speaking. These oils just help you respond. Daily habits that complete the picture. But let's be honest. No oil, no matter how powerful, works alone. To truly transform how your legs feel, your daily habits are the missing link. And the best part? You don't need to turn your life upside down. Helen didn't join a gym or start gulping down 12 supplements. She just made a few simple shifts. Morning walks, just 10 minutes around the block. Fresh air, steady steps, and movement that woke up her circulation. Mini exercises. Standing calf raises by the kitchen counter. Leg stretches in her armchair. Ankle circles whenever she remembered. Altogether, just 5 minutes. But they added strength, stability, and confidence. Food played a role too. Garlic, turmeric, and berries made regular appearances on her plate, known for supporting heart health and blood flow. A small reduction in evening salt intake helped ease nighttime swelling in her ankles. And then came her afternoon ritual. Just 15 minutes of quiet rest, feet propped on 2 pillows, letting gravity assist the veins. At night, a soft pillow tucked under her ankles. Simple, gentle, effective. Questions you might be asking. As more people start this journey, a few common questions always pop up. Let's walk through them together. Can I still use the oil if I have varicose veins? Yes, but be gentle. Don't press hard over the veins. Use light, upward strokes. And make sure to elevate your legs afterward. This helps ease pressure and supports healthy circulation. I'm over 80. Will this still work for me? Absolutely. Age doesn't block your body from responding. It may take a little more time, but your skin, muscles, and circulation are still listening. We've heard stories from people in their late 80s and even early 90s who felt stronger, more grounded, and more alive after just a few days of consistent care. Is this just for women? Not at all. Poor circulation, cramping, and heaviness don't discriminate. In fact, many older men who never thought they'd try massage have said they were shocked by how deeply it helped, physically and emotionally. How long should I keep using it? Start with 7 days. Then, let your body decide. Some people continue once a day, others a few times a week. There's no rigid rule, only what makes you feel your best. What if I don't feel results right away? That's okay. Healing isn't always instant. If your legs have been struggling for years, they may need a little more time. Just be consistent. Pair the oil with movement, hydration, and rest. Even the smallest shifts, a better night's sleep, less swelling, smoother steps, are signs that change is happening. Final words for your legs and your life. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something simple. Your legs have carried you through decades, through laughter, through grief, through every moment that shaped your life. And maybe lately, they felt tired, slow, heavy, but that doesn't mean they're done. They still matter. You still matter. Not because you're trying to stay young, not because you're proving anything to anyone, but because attention is a form of love, and your body is still worthy of love at every age. So tonight, take 5 quiet minutes. Warm a little oil between your hands. Close your eyes. Breathe. And just listen to your body, to your breath, to that beautiful moment of coming home to yourself. If this video touched your heart, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to 60plus, where we bring you real, natural ways to stay strong, supported, and beautifully connected to your body at every age. Until next time, walk gently,